miracle right now. And with this miracle, what DC has done today, definitely it raises a lot of things towards DC and Gujarat Titans as well. But keep Gujarat Titans aside. Right now, let's discuss Delhi Capitals a bit. They have won by 5 runs. They have defended a, a like what, a very little target in front of Gujarat Titans, just 130 runs, and then they have done it successfully. Last over तक मैच किया प्रत्यय. It is something I never thought. मेरे को I was prepared in the pre-show only. I was prepared. I'm going to go and discuss about like how great Gujarat Titans have played. And कुछ चीजें होती हैं, आपको पता होती हैं कि day end पे यही होगा. But Delhi has surprised me. Right now, I'm not prepared how to talk about it. But I really want to know what really happened there, Pratyay.
See, that's why we say never say it's over until it's over, because this is the kind of sport cricket is, and this is the beauty of IPL. I mean, who would have thought? We were all talking about it's number 1 versus number 10. At no point of time did this game look like that until DC was batting. You perhaps thought that GT have done everything right, because it was one of the finest new bowling spell that we saw from Mohammad Shami, reducing them to 23 for 5. And from that stage, I mean, no one could have possibly given a chance to Delhi. But this is what this game is about. This is how it goes. You really don't say it's over until it's over, because until that last ball is bowled, you really can't really predict the result. And even towards the back end of the innings, you perhaps just had that thought that, once again, it would be that man, Iceman Rahul Tewatia, having done it so often. And he's building a reputation around himself to be one of the best finishers. It felt like in the 19th over, hat-trick of sixes against Henrik Nortje. And it felt like that perhaps again he would be, taking the game away. But brilliant death bowling again, once again, Ishant Sharma bringing all his experience, delivered in the power play, then at the back end in the death, because yes, it was a wicket lost, but it was still Hardik Pandya who's at the crease, the set batter, and Rashid Khan as well. So we know that he has a reputation to hit the long ball. So it wasn't really like that GT were completely, down and out. And 8 runs, 10 runs, 11 runs and over is not really a difficult task in the modern day to chase in the last over. So it was still pretty much in favor of GT. But hats off to Delhi Capitals, the way they actually kept themselves in the game throughout. Really, really commendable effort. And this win is absolutely going to give them a lot of confidence, because winning when you have your backs against the walls, 5 losses on the bounce, then 2 wins, then again a match loss that they should have won, coming against a team which is number 1 on the points table, the best team arguably in the tournament, and in their home, and performing the way they performed, absolutely phenomenal.
राइट. एंड यू नो व्हाट प्रत्यय, मैंने तो इवन वो जो हमारा इंटरनल कॉन्टेस्ट भी होता है उसमें आई हैव चोजन गुजरात टाइटंस. आई नो मैच जीतेंगे, प्लेयर ऑफ द मैच भी उन्हीं से आएगा. मैंने राशिद खान को पहले ही चुन लिया था कि ही इज गोइंग टू बी द मैन ऑफ द मैच. आई वाज नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट, ट्रस्ट मी, आई वाज नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड. आई डोंट नो वेदर दिल्ली कैपिटल्स भी प्रिपेयर्ड था इसके लिए कि नहीं. दे वर प्लेइंग टू विन डेफिनेटली, लेकिन क्या उनको भी मालूम था कि दे आर गोइंग टू प्ले अगेंस्ट अ नंबर 1 टीम and then they are going to score 130? Then they're going to defend it against the best team in the IPL who's known for defending like all the totals. I don't know, like this is something miracle happened. कौन है पेप टॉक कर रहा है दिल्ली कैपिटल्स की टीम में? बहुत जरूरत है उसको. मेरे को बात करनी है उस आदमी से who is really doing it, because उसने तो एक मिरेकल कर दिया है. बट एक्चुअली ये मिरेकल ऑन पेपर आपको दिखाते हैं कैसे हुआ है. मैच समरी के द्वारा हम आपको बताएंगे ऑल द नंबर्स ऑफ दिस मैच, बिकॉज दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ने पुल ऑफ किया है, वो है आपके सामने. So, सबसे पहले उन्होंने टॉस के साथ ही बैटिंग चुनी थी, जिस पर हम लोगों ने डिस्कशन भी किया था कि भाई क्या कर रहे हैं. बट देन दे वर वेरी वेरी मच उनको पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस था व्हाट दे आर एक्चुअली डूइंग. 130 रन उन्होंने बनाए अहमदाबाद में, जो कि एक बैटिंग पैराडाइज कहा जा रहा है. वहां पर उनके सभी बैटर्स, इवन उनकी ओपनिंग जोड़ी, इवन डेविड वार्नर जो फॉर्म में थे वो भी कुछ नहीं कर पाए. फिल सॉर्ट से भी कुछ नहीं हुआ. बट अमन हाकिम खान ने 51 रन बनाए 44 बॉल्स पे, विच वाज नॉट अ बिग मार्जिन, बट स्टिल ही स्कोर्ड सम रन्स. देन अक्षर पटेल 27 रन, द मैन हु स्कोर्स इट इन एवरी मैच, उन्होंने दिल्ली के लिए यहाँ पर काम करके दिखाया. देन मोहम्मद शमी ने दूसरी तरफ से अपना कहर जारी रखा, 4 विकेट उन्होंने लिए. मोहित शर्मा इधर थे, उन्होंने 2 विकेट लिए, और इन दोनों ने अपना काम करके दिया. गुजरात टाइटंस फिर आई बैटिंग पे. बहुत श्योर थे वो लोग कि ये मैच तो उनके जेब में है. हार्दिक पांड्या ने 59 रन की पारी खेली. अभिनव मनोहर थे, उन्होंने 26 रन की पारी खेली. इवन जैसे प्रत्यय ने बोला कि तेवतिया भी दिखाई पड़ रहे थे, बैक टू बैक सिक्सर्स लगाए थे, तो हो सकता था कि ये मैच उनके हाथ में जाता. बट बोलर्स लाइक ईशान शर्मा, खलील अहमद और भी उनके बाकी के गेंदबाजों ने अपना काम करके दिखाया, और अल्टीमेटली लास्ट ओवर तक मैच गया. दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ने इस मुकाबले को 5 रन से जीता। प्रत्यय हम लोग इस मैच की शुरुआत में भी बात कर रहे थे कि ये एक बैटिंग पैराडाइज है, बट ना तो यहाँ पर दिल्ली के बल्लेबाजों की चली, ना यहाँ पर गुजरात के बल्लेबाजों की चली, एक्सेप्ट 1 or 2 परफॉर्मेंसेस, कोई भी बैट्समैन यहाँ पर एज पर द एक्सपेक्टेशंस परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाया। तो क्या ऐसा कुछ था कि ड्यू का फैक्टर वहां पर अप्लाई हो गया, या ऐसा क्या हो गया जिससे ना दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के बैटर्स ना गुजरात टाइटंस के बैटर एक बैटिंग पैराडाइज पर कुछ कर ही नहीं पाए? व्हाट रियली हैपेंड?
See, even at the toss time, we heard that it's perhaps one of those tracks, 175, 180 kind. But वो pitch वैसी नहीं थी. I never felt that it was that kind of a pitch. And like I said, that there was a bit of rain in the build-up, and we saw how beautifully Mohammad Shami bowled, the manner in which he moved the new ball. Test match lines, 19 dot balls in his spell. That is 3.1 overs of dot balls, 4 for 11. It was one of the best spells. I mean, it is one of the spells that you would perhaps want to put it on a television and just continue to watch it on loop because it was that beautiful bowling by him. Test match lines and lengths, and the manner in which he completely rattled the top order of Delhi Capitals. It was top quality bowling. But right from that moment, it was really clear that it isn't really that kind of a track where you're going to get 150, 160, 170, perhaps even 130, 140 would be competitive. And Delhi did not look like getting even there. They huffed and puffed on their way. I mean, they scampered because when you lose four wickets inside the power play, 23 for five rather, 5 wickets in the power play, it's half your side gone. You really do not have anything to look at. But that is when someone like an Aman Hakim Khan, he is not someone who has played a lot of IPL, hasn't played first class cricket. His maiden half century, not just in IPL, but in all cricket. So it's players like these that you want to come up the ranks. That is what IPL serves you. Keeps on serving, keeps on giving new heroes all the time. So great innings from him, because if you take his innings out, I don't think that Delhi would have reached anywhere close to perhaps even 100. They could have well been all out even for a double-digit score, because the way Shami was operating with the new ball, 2 3 overs inside the power play, the manner in which he was bowling, and the kind of support he was getting from other bowlers, Joshua Little and the company, it really felt like that perhaps DC would never be allowed to get back into the game. But a couple of partnerships with Akshar Patel for the sixth wicket, then Aman and Ripple, that partnership for the seventh wicket, I guess 53 or for 20, 25, 27 odd balls, that shifted the momentum. And yes, at halfway mark, you would say that, okay, 130, you're going to take that any day. 6.5 and over, it's really no big deal in today's time. But the point is that that momentum shift, Delhi capitalized on that right from the moment they came into bowl. The manner in which Ishant Sharma dismissed Vijay Shankar, Sahab getting out in the first over, Khalil Ahmed getting his wicket, all of that kind of just bogged the pressure. And this is a thing, Ratsi, with these 130, 140 kind of totals. We've seen it very often कि जब ये 120, 130 रन के totals बनते हैं, तो कई बार टीम्स थोड़ा सा चीजों को इजी लेना चालू कर देते हैं. दे स्टार्ट टू फील दैट अभी तो बहुत टाइम है, हम कर लेंगे, हम बहुत टाइम में कर लेंगे. और वो कछुए खरगोश वाली जो कहानी होती है कि वो धीरे धीरे कछुआ निकल जाता है, जीत जाता है और खरगोश रह जाता है. इट इज दैट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. यू कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू लीव too many things for the back end, because see, it's not a track on which you will be able to score say 6, you won't be able to score 10, 12, 13, 14. You're struggling to score even at 6 and 7. And by the time GT were needing in the last 4 overs, they were already staring at a required run rate of close to 13, 14. So they left a lot to be done. As for the pitch, I really never felt. I mean, after the first 2 overs of Shami, after the initial power play overs of Delhi Capitals, it was absolutely clear that this is not a track, because there was movement of the surface, there was movement of ball in the air as well. Shami was swinging it beautifully, and it was clear that it's not that 150, 160 surface. So yes, it was a batting paradise perhaps, but this really wasn't that kind of a track. Partly down to how the bowlers bowled, because both the sides bowled beautifully. You have to give credit to even Gujarat Titans. And of course, Delhi Capitals have defended 130, so you ought to give them credit. But apart from that as well, if you look, the track didn't really look like that flat as we perhaps expected it to be. So great bowling match. And one more thing is that we have seen 220, 230, even 250 in this IPL being breached. But there's another kind of beauty when it comes to these kind of matches. 120, 132 sides struggling and fighting their way through, trying to defend. This is a different kind of a game. So this has its own beauty. So yes, from time to time, I think IPL should serve these kind of games.
राइट. जिस तरह से आईपीएल सरप्राइज करता है, भगवान अगर लाइफ कभी ऐसे सरप्राइज करे, बिकॉज वी नो, लाइक जैसे आपने राइटली मेंशन किया, हमने यहाँ पर 200 प्लस स्कोर्स को भी चेज होते हुए देखा है, और 130 स्कोर भी चेज नहीं कर पा रही, वो भी आपकी टॉप टीम. सो देयर इज समथिंग इज देयर जो भगवान ना करे लाइफ कभी आपको ऐसे सरप्राइज करे, बट आईपीएल डेफिनेटली सक्सेसफुल रहा है। साल दर साल हमने देखा है, ऐसे मैचेस हमने देखे हैं जहां पर कुछ इस तरह का नजारा देखने को मिलता है। बट इसके पहले हम और भी इस मैच के बारे में डिस्कस करें, लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट द टॉप परफॉर्मर्स ऑफ दिस मैच। वैसे तो बहुत ही कम है, बॉलिंग साइड से ज्यादा है, बैटिंग साइड से कम है, बट कुछ कमाल उन्होंने भी करके दिखाया है। एक तो मुझे लगता है कि अब की बार अमन हाकिम खान इज गोइंग टू बी द मैन ऑफ द मैच, बिकॉज एक तो ये शायद इनकी लाइफ का पहला मैन ऑफ द मैच होगा, लाइक इस लेवल पे, जिस लेवल पे अभी ये खेल रहे हैं। 51 रन उन्होंने बनाए हैं 44 बॉल्स पे, बट सामने से मोहम्मद शमी ने 4 विकेट लिए। ये डिजर्व करते हैं आज, क्योंकि प्रत्यय 2.80 की इकोनॉमी, मुझे नहीं लगता आईपीएल में किसी भी मैच में किसी भी बॉलर ने 2.80 की इकोनॉमी मेंटेन करी होगी। इफ आई एम रॉन्ग, जस्ट डू लेट मी नो अबाउट इट। नाउ लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट द सेकंड इनिंग्स परफॉर्मेंस एज वेल, कि सेकंड इनिंग्स के एंड से जब बारी आई तब हार्दिक पांड्या ने 59 रन्स बनाए। इसके अलावा ईशांत शर्मा ने 2 विकेट लिए, इनकी भी एक शानदार स्पेल देखने को मिला। बट इफ वी कम बैक टू मोहम्मद शमी, प्रत्यय 2.80 की इकोनॉमी, 4 wickets, 11 runs in 4 overs. Have you seen any bowler doing that kind of a spell in whole IPL? If I don't know, please let me know. I really want to know about it. क्या किसी ने करके दिखाया है?
Absolutely, one of the top spells. Absolutely, I think economy-wise, it is going to be right up there. You of course will have to look at the numbers, but 2.7, it's unreal. I mean, as I said, it's Test match standards, and it really started to look like that because if you look at the score, 6 overs, 20, 25 odd runs on the board, 4, 5 wickets down. The lines and lengths at which he was bowling, the manner in which he was operating with the ball. I mean, Shami is. We know that every time you speak of Shami, there is going to be talk of how he holds the seam upright because he's a beautiful bowler when it comes to the manner in which he releases the ball. That is where his entire skill lies. That is how he picks wickets because he's someone who relies on the seam of the ball. Of course, he was getting swing here as well, but the nicks that players were getting behind, the manner in which Saha was, and of course, credit due to Saha as well, the kind of catches he took behind, it was,
Hmm.
you really started to doubt that perhaps it is Test match cricket going on in colored clothes because it was that kind of cricket being played in the middle. And
Right.
19 dot balls, as I said, I mean, you as a bowler, you have got a quota of 24 legal deliveries. Of those,
Hmm.
you are delivering 19 as dot balls. I have to give immense credit. And he has been a beast in power play. I mean, if you have to pick up power play bowlers, one of the best in the business, who would come to your mind? Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, of course, is beautifully operating in that phase currently. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Sandeep Sharma, these are players. Trent Bolt, of course, another legend in the power play. I mean, these are perhaps the top operators, and Shami is rightfully in that spot at the moment because he comes in, he delivers every single game back to back with relentless accuracy. He keeps on giving, and he is one of the chief reasons why Gujarat Titans has been one of the very successful sides in the IPL. Last year, formed a very potent attack with Lockie Ferguson. This year again, he has got great company. The likes of Joshua Little, again an Irish coming and performing in the tournament, and that is what IPL is all about. It's the motto. It keeps on proving itself right. Talent meets opportunity. This is the platform. It's the platform for Aman Hakims, for Joshua Littles to just come and show what they have got. And talking of Aman Hakim, I think the kind of knock he played, I think GT would be really cursing themselves because Noor Ahmed had got him out. Had they taken the review, he was at what 8 or 10. It was very early on in his innings. I do not exactly recall the exact score, but it was very early on in his innings. Hardik Pandya did not go for the review. He ends up scoring 51. And look at the difference of victory. I mean, 1-4, and this would have gone into a super over. So I think
Hmm.
G2 would be cursing themselves, and to perhaps make that amends, they end up taking what you would call as the worst review of all time. Because when they took a LBW review when Hakim was batting at 51, it was perhaps not even the seventh stump or sixth stump that was hitting, and they took the review. But by then it was already too late. So I
Hmm.
think great performance by both of them. Shami would be dejected, of course, because you don't often come and give those kind of spells and end up on the losing sides. But
Hmm.
really, an economy of 2.7 in T20 cricket, 19 dot balls in a spell, 4 wickets, just 11 runs. I don't think you need to say anything more than that.
मुझे लगता है कि ये एक्चुअली जो जिस तरह की परफॉर्मेंस शमी के एंड से आई है, उन्हें बस पता लग गया होगा कि डब्ल्यूटीसी फाइनल है और प्रिपेयर करना है, तो ऐसे ही शुरू होगा धीमे धीमे प्रिपरेशन, तो उन्होंने इस तरह की बॉलिंग शुरू कर दी। बट नाउ वी कैन डेफिनेटली से ऑस्ट्रेलिया वी आर कमिंग, जस्ट सिंपली वेट फॉर इट, शमी इज देयर फॉर अस। उन्होंने दिखा दिया है गुजरात के साथ खेलते हुए कि ही इज कंप्लीटली रेडी फॉर द रेड बॉल क्रिकेट। और ऐसा नहीं है कि वो टी20 क्रिकेट में अगर उनका माइंडसेट वैसा हो गया, ही इज चेंजिंग इट, और नाउ अभी वो जिस तरीके की परफॉर्मेंस लेके आने वाले हैं, ये फाइनल बहुत डिफिकल्ट होने वाला है ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए. बट लेट्स गेट बैक टू दिस जीटी एंड डीसी क्लैश बिकॉज दिस हैज डेफिनेटली changed a lot of numbers. As I've got one stat to share with people, like it is just the second defeat of Gujarat Titans in run chases from 14 attempts. Gujarat Titans in run chases, they have played 14 matches, won 12 matches, and just 2 they have lost. And this is one of those matches जो उन्होंने हारा है, which is like अपने आप में नंबर्स बता रहे हैं ये कितनी बड़ी बात है, ये कितनी बड़ी चीज है दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के लिए, उनके कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए. और गुजरात टाइटन तो आई डोंट नो, अभी तक समझ ही नहीं पा रहे होंगे उनके साथ हुआ क्या, बट डैम श्योर कुछ ही देर में कुछ ना कुछ स्टेटमेंट्स आएंगे और हमें पता चलेगा कि एक्चुअली उनका प्लान क्या था और कहाँ उल्टा पड़ गया. बट एक क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पर प्रत्यय, एक अफगानी फैन ने पूछा है कि राशिद खान को इतना लेट क्यों ला रहे हैं बैटिंग ऑर्डर में. बट जहां तक मुझे दिखाई पड़ रहा है गुजरात टाइटंस में इतना स्पेस है नहीं कि आप राशिद खान को कहीं बीच में put in कर सकें. But I want to know your opinion on this as well.
No, I don't think there is any need required क्योंकि उनका जो बैटिंग लाइनअप है अगर आप शुरुआत से उठा के देखें, जो ओपनर्स हैं उनके, I know that Saha's form has not really taken off इस समय. In fact, he's the person with the poorest average of all batters in IPL, not just his own team. So his form has been up and down this season. But Gill has been okay. Today he failed, but otherwise he has had a good season, scored over close to 350 runs. So he has been playing well. In the middle order, if you see, the likes of Vijay Shankar, B. Sai Sudarshan, Abhinav Manohar today, in a couple of games that he has played, he has been doing well. You have Hardik Pandya coming. He's not playing as a finisher anymore, like he has already said that a couple of seasons ago, in the last season as well, and this year as well. He's batting at 4-5, so he's trying to just perhaps give that experience to the other players, the younger ones around him, or the relatively less experienced one around him. So he is not doing that. So, and you have the likes of David Miller, arguably one of the finest finishers that T20 cricket has ever seen. And you have that Iceman. I mean, what do you call? Even today, as I said, he nearly gave a scare to the opponents because 3 6s, and whom are you hitting it against? Henrik Nokia, one of the fastest on the planet. Of course, it was coupled with some indiscipline that Nokia showed because he kept on delivering. He could not land the Yorkers properly. Ended up, converting them into low full tosses. And Tewatia, once he gets in his arc, he is simply going to place it in just one station. So that is out of the park. So I don't think that Rashid Khan, it merits that you promote him up the order. Yes, as a pinch hitter, if in any game you really want to try that, something like a Sunil Narayan kind of a role that you want to give him, it may be tried. But the point is that GT don't need that. When you are at the top of the table, when you have won 6 games out of 8, and now 6 out of 9, you don't want to experiment because when things are working for you, when things do not work, that is when you start to think new things कि अब कुछ नया ट्राई करते हैं, प्लान बी करते हैं, प्लान सी करते हैं क्योंकि प्लान ए नहीं चला, प्लान बी नहीं चला, लेकिन उनके हमेशा प्लान्स चलते रहते हैं. And that is something that reflects in the points table as well. 2022 champions, the manner in which they played right through the tournament, they really did not need, because every single person, right from top to bottom, every single person played his role. Everyone doubted them. Everyone said कि इनकी टीम अच्छी है या नहीं है, 11 भी नहीं बन रही इनकी ठीक से, क्या खेलेंगे, कैसा खेलेंगे, शायद वुडन स्पून होगा, शायद क्वालिफाई तो बिल्कुल नहीं करेंगे. क्वालिफाई कर लिया, जीत लिया, क्वालिफायर भी और फाइनल भी जीत गए. This year again, they are ruling the roost. Okay, they lost this game, they would be hurting, of course, but look at the 2 games that they have lost against KKR, Rinku Singh. I mean, that is something that you perhaps see once in 2 decades. Someone coming out and hitting 5 6s. That is not something that happens very often in cricket. And this game as well, they came within 1 hit of winning the game, and perhaps had Tewatia not been dismissed, they might as well have ended up winning this game as well. So they are not losing badly. It's not that they are losing by 50 runs or 8 wickets or 9 wickets. They are not losing that way. They're losing games, but they are losing close. So even the games that they have lost, they have always been in the game. And when you are so settled, you don't want to tinker things. You don't want to do a Rashid Khan come and bat at 4, come and bat at 5. You don't want to do that because your players are already performing. So I personally don't think that Rashid Khan should be promoted. If anyone should have been promoted, it was Akshar Patel, who again wasn't promoted. And yes, he came into bat too early today, but not in the manner you would like, because you don't want him to be batting early when his team is 23 for 5. You want him to be batting at number 4, number 5. So I think if there is anyone who should be promoted amongst these 2 teams, it's Akshar Patel, not Rashid Khan.
या डेफिनेटली. एंड जैसे कि आपने बताया कि गुजरात टाइटंस ऑलरेडी काफी सॉर्टेड है, हम लोग इवन प्री मैच में भी बात कर रहे थे कि इट इज द मोस्ट सॉर्टेड टीम इन आईपीएल, सो दे डोंट नीड टू टिंकर देयर बैटिंग लाइनअप एट ऑल. not required. But let's take a look at points table कि अभी इस मैच के बाद कुछ सिनेरियो चेंज हुआ है क्या? नहीं चेंज हुआ है दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के लिए दो तीन उन्होंने जीत अपने नाम करी है 6 पॉइंट्स के साथ हैं और देखना होगा कि आफ्टर ऑल किस तरीके से यहाँ पर अपनी दिशा बदलेगी और दिल्ली कैपिटल्स क्या थोड़ा ऊपर आ पाएगी बड़ा सवाल होगा लेकिन देखते हैं राइट नाउ पॉइंट्स टेबल पे टॉप पर है गुजरात टाइटंस और उसके बाद में है राजस्थान रॉयल्स नंबर 2 नंबर 3 पर लखनऊ सुपर जायंट्स नंबर 4 सीएसके नंबर 5 आरसीबी नंबर 6 पंजाब किंग्स नंबर 7 मुंबई इंडियंस नंबर 8 कोलकाता नाइट राइडर्स नंबर 9 एसआरएच और नंबर 10 दिल्ली कैपिटल्स मैं तो कहती हूँ इस परफॉर्मेंस के बाद दिल्ली कैपिटल्स को सीधा टॉप पे रख दो आई हैव नो इश्यूज बिकॉज डेफिनेटली डिजर्व करते हैं आज का जिस तरीके से उन्होंने मुकाबला जीता है मुझे नहीं लगता है कि इतना बड़ा शॉक अभी तक किसी भी टीम ने किसी और टीम को दिया होगा हाँ वो गुजरात टाइटंस और कोलकाता नाइट राइडर्स का मैच मुझे याद है जिसमें रिंकू सिंह ने कमाल करके दिखाया था वो मुकाबला भी एक शॉक था जो कि जीटी को लगा था केकेआर के अगेंस्ट और ये भी मुकाबला एक बड़ा शॉक है जो कि जीटी को लगा है आई डोंट नो समहाउ जितनी भी टीम्स शॉक पुल ऑफ कर रही हैं यूजुअली वो गुजरात टाइटंस ही क्यों निकल रही है इस सीजन ये भी देखने वाली बात हो कि उनको आफ्टर ऑल फिगर आउट करना पड़ेगा कहां पर वो लोग एकदम अपनी सोच में एकदम आराम से आ जाते हैं अरे ये मुकाबला तो हम जीत लेंगे और आफ्टर ऑल उनके लिए बाद में एक शॉकर बन करके सामने आता है बट हाँ कोशिश रहेगी कि इस तरीके से दोबारा गुजरात टाइटंस के साथ ना हो बिकॉज खुद इटसेल्फ हार्दिक पांड्या के लिए इसे पचा पाना मुश्किल होगा नॉट आउट गए थे आखिरी मोमेंट तक उन्होंने बैटिंग करी है अच्छी फॉर्म में भी दिख रहे थे लाइक रन्स बना रहे थे उतना डिफिकल्ट उनके लिए नहीं दिख रहा था बट स्टिल ही कुडंट डू इट वो क्रीज पर थे और वो अपनी टीम को नहीं जिता पाए ये उनके लिए जरूर मुश्किल रहा होगा बट एक बार देखते हैं आफ्टर ऑल इस मुकाबले के बाद सोशल ट्रैकर पर लोग क्या बातचीत कर रहे हैं बिकॉज मीम्स तो बहुत बने होंगे गुजरात के अगेंस्ट भी गए होंगे बहुत सारे तो एक बार देखते हैं कि ट्वीट्स के माध्यम से लोग किस तरीके से इसे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं सबसे पहला ट्वीट 49 क्रॉस्ड जीटी वर्सेस डीसी काफी खुश यहाँ पर जीटी और डीसी हम देख सकते हैं शाहरुख खान का यहाँ पर एक्सप्रेशन लगा करके इसे बताया जा रहा है लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट अनदर ट्वीट Hardik Pandya gesture after Rahul Tewatia hits 3 sixes in Nokia's 19th over and Tewatia created noise in the ground. What a player he is, but he couldn't do much for the team. अल्टीमेटली दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ने ये मुकाबला जीता और उनका सेलिब्रेशन सिक्सेस काम नहीं आए बट होप करेंगे कि अगली बार ऐसा कुछ वो पुल ऑफ करें तो उनकी टीम के पक्ष में जाए व्हाट अ कमबैक दिल्ली कैपिटल्स खलील अहमद ईशान शर्मा अमन खान ऑसम जॉब गाइस no one really have thought about it but they have definitely done it इसे याद रखना इसे भूलना मत what you have done ये आगे तक याद आएगा और आगे तक काम आएगा अपने कॉन्फिडेंस को बढ़ाने के लिए देखते हैं अगला ट्वीट Hardik Pandya hides his happiness after Mohammad Shami's 4th wicket. Shami is on fire, 4 wicket in just 7 runs. We all know what Mohammad Shami has done and this is the day जो कि मोहम्मद शमी को भी काफी दिनों तक याद रहने वाला है. After watching performance of Delhi Capitals, जिंदल, पॉन्टिंग, गांगुली एंड वॉटसन देखिए आप लोग ये ठीक नहीं कर रहे डेफिनेटली डिसअपॉइंटमेंट था या इनिशियली डिसअपॉइंटमेंट था बट बाद में कमाल किया What a spell Shami take about 4 overs, 4 wicket, and we all take about to the king. Like Shami right now, he's proved to be king right now. जिस तरीके की परफॉर्मेंस है याद रहेगी उन्हें हमें भी याद रहेगी WTC फाइनल है याद रखना शमी व्हाट यू हैव डन टुडे इसे फिर से रेप्लिकेट करना है इंडिया को चाहिए ट्रॉफी बॉटम लाइन यही है इस पूरे आईपीएल का मकसद ही यही है कि इंडिया अल्टीमेटली ट्रॉफी जीते और आई एम डैम श्योर कि अब की बार भी शमी ऐसा कुछ परफॉर्म करेंगे और हमें ट्रॉफी जिताने में मदद करेंगे बट थैंक यू सो मच प्रत्यय फॉर जॉइनिंग मी थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ऑल द लिसनर्स हु आर जस्ट जॉइनिंग आवर कन्वर्सेशन एंड लिसनिंग ऑफ व्हाटएवर वी आर जस्ट सिंपली एक्सप्रेसिंग टुवर्ड्स द क्रिकेट मैच ये है प्लेयर ऑफ द मैच मोहम्मद शमी अगेन एक लूजिंग कॉज में जरूर आया है बट शानदार परफॉर्मेंस डिजर्व करते थे मैन ऑफ द मैच जीतना और मैन ऑफ द मैच उनके हाथ में मेरे को लगता है इस आईपीएल सबसे ज्यादा लूजिंग कॉज में भी मैन ऑफ द मैचेस दिए गए हैं मुझे 3 तो याद आ रहे हैं ये एक मोहम्मद शमी का हो गया एक आया था मोहित शर्मा का शायद
छठवां हो गया ये एक्चुअली अब because we saw Conway winning against Punjab Kings the same day Yashasvi Jaiswal got against in the match of Rajasthan Royals now Shami Venkatesh Iyer I guess has won for his century against Mumbai Indians Shikhar Dhawan for his 99 not out Punjab Kings so 5 or 6 I am perhaps missing 1 or 2 here Mitchell Marsh Delhi Capitals the game that we were discussing in the pre-show 5 or 6 times but you have to say that I mean because the manner in which these players have performed it's really as I said it's a shame that they end up on the losing side but it's actually a good thing it's actually a good thing to recognize their efforts to acknowledge them because yes player of the match see they don't really play for these awards ultimately they want to win the game for their sides but you have to stand and applaud these kind of performances because like I said I'm still in awe of what Shami has done today because it was such a nice spell. I mean, every single ball, you just did not want his spell to end because he was testing bowlers, testing batters right through. So I think when someone performs that way, you might have thought perhaps we both were even discussing that maybe Aman Hakim Khan should be the one who should get that. But we
Hmm.
have seen 51 or 50, 44, these kind of things
Yeah.
many times, many a time. But what Shami did today is something that you don't see often. So I think that yes, we will have to agree with that player of the match choice.
आई फील अ लिटिल बैड फॉर अमन हाकिम खान, क्योंकि मुझे नहीं पता कि नेक्स्ट टाइम उनको हीरो बनने का मौका कब मिलेगा, बट जब भी मिलेगा इट्स ओके। लाइक दिस टाइम मोहम्मद शमी रियली डिजर्व इट। जिस तरह का उन्होंने स्पेल फेंका है एक T20 फॉर्मेट में, एक ऐसे ओवर में, एक ऐसे फॉर्मेट में जहां पर आपको ओवर्स मिलते हैं पावर प्ले के और आप उस मोमेंट पे आके बॉलिंग करते हैं जहां पर बॉलर्स को हिट पड़ता ही पड़ता है, वो चाहे अच्छी बॉल फेंकें चाहे बुरी बॉल फेंकें, उनको कहीं ना कुछ तो होता है जिसमें उनके पास से रन लीक हो ही जाता है। और उनके ऊपर काफी सारे अटेम्प्ट्स होते हैं जिसमें वो मेंटली प्रेशर महसूस करते हैं और रन लीक हो जाते हैं। बट मोहम्मद शमी, व्हाट ही हैज डन इज सर्टेनली समथिंग, कि वो ऑलरेडी ओवर पार कर चुके हैं उन चीजों को, उनसे परे हो चुकी हैं, और उन्होंने आज साबित किया है पूरी तरीके से डिजर्व करते थे। ही मस्ट बी हैप्पी, वी ऑल आर हैप्पी, बट अब कुछ नहीं करना है, हैप्पीली सो जाना है, बिकॉज कल फिर से एक बड़ा मुकाबला है। उस पर डिस्कशन करने के लिए लौटेंगे क्रिक ट्रैकर पर और देखेंगे इन दी एयर शो में ऑल द डिस्कशंस, और पार्ट बनेंगे, फीडबैक देंगे और साथ ही डिस्कस करेंगे क्रिकेट हमारे साथ।